Also last night, the first college football playoff rankings were released, and there was no mystery at the top. We knew Georgia would be number one. They've been the best team in the country this year. They're 8-0. The second spot is where the fun began. The defending champs, Alabama, claiming that spot despite their loss to Texas A&M a few weeks ago. At number 3, Michigan State. Coming off that huge come-from-behind win over their rival Michigan. They're looking to make the CFP for the second time. They did it in 2015. And then Oregon is in the 4th spot right now. They're 6-1. They have what might be the best win of the year, that win at Ohio State, on their resume. Speaking of the Buckeyes, they are at 5. They have big games coming up. They'll play Michigan State and Michigan, so they've got great opportunities. And then the big story is Cincinnati, sitting at number 6, despite the big win against Notre Dame and having done everything realistically they can do. So let me bring Heather and Paul back in, and RG3 is with us this morning as well. And Cincinnati obviously is the story here, Heather. Let's start with that. What message was sent by the committee to Cincinnati last night?
Strength of schedule, strength of schedule, strength of schedule. And you don't have it. They liked the win at Notre Dame, but beyond that, selection committee chair Gary Barta said it wasn't impressive enough. They went into the week ranked number 100th in strength of schedule, and looking down the stretch, it hurts them tremendously that SMU and Houston were not ranked by the committee last night. So teams behind them, Michigan and Oklahoma, both have more opportunities to finish in the top 4 and impress the selection committee than the Bearcats. But
to be clear, and Robert made this point in our first hour, but Paul, I want to give it to you because I feel like you're kind of on the other side of it. The message that is sent is, because no team outside of the Power 5 conferences can have a strength of, they just can't. There's literally nothing they can do to have a strength of schedule that's going to be comparable. So I agree with Robert, whether you agree with it or whether it's right or wrong, the message that was sent was, if you're not one of the Power 5 conferences, you're not welcome here. Right, Paul?
Essentially, that's true. And also, the secondary message is get in another league, which Cincinnati has done. They're heading to the Big 12. And another, even third message is expand the playoff, which they're not doing yet. They're meeting today in Dallas, where Heather is. So it's a confused and jumbled message, but in the end, it's about the resume. And I don't care what anyone screams, and I'm sure Robert is on top of a building right now about to come after me, but Cincinnati has one impressive win. They don't play in a very good league, and their second best win is at Indiana. Big deal.
Go ahead, Robert.
Paul, come on, man. I know you're losing hair over the years, but the bottom line is it's not the SEC college football playoff, okay? I'm not surprised by the rankings. I'm not surprised by Alabama being number 2. They very well could be the second best team in the country. But what it's telling all of the group of 5 schools is you have no chance. Absolutely no chance. And when I saw the rankings come out, in my mind, I just immediately thought, all right, we just got to change the structure immediately. Go to a 12-team playoff, the 6 highest ranked conference champions, regardless of the league, and then 6 at-large bids. And then that way, Paul and all the SEC enthusiasts can get as many SEC schools as they want into that playoff. But these other schools that are winning conference championships and playing great football, there has to be something connected to winning. And the fact that Alabama's at 2 after they lost to an unranked Texas A&M is just infuriating. And then you got Oregon at number 4, and I think they're well deserving of that. And the fact of the matter is they do have, Greeny, the most impressive win of the season by going to Ohio State and beating them in Columbus.
I love this debate. Let me get to some other things, though, that I didn't get to in the first hour. Heather, Oklahoma at 8. An unbeaten team right now in the Big 12. I'm going to ask you a question I know you can't answer with certainty. If they win out, will they make it? Does Oklahoma still control their destiny despite being at 8?
They have an excellent chance. And if you're a Sooners fan, I certainly would not panic because the selection committee ranking Baylor and Oklahoma State in the top 25 means that these Sooners have a chance to go on the road and get 2 top 25 wins. Plus, beating Iowa State is not going to be easy. They have a backloaded schedule, and if they finish as an undefeated Big 12 champ, I would be shocked if they were left out. And if they finish as a one-loss conference champ, I think they've got a really strong case still, depending on who that loss comes to, what it looks like, and obviously what everybody else does.
Paul, what else? You came on yesterday and said it's all about Cincinnati, Cincinnati, Cincinnati. I get it. We agree. We've covered that. What else? What else stood out to you last night, Paul Finebaum?
Well, I think that they have maybe opened up a crack, not likely, but possible, that for Alabama, Robert, hate to say this, still get in the playoffs if they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game. And one more thing, Robert, and I always refrain from doing this as I've matured through the years. I hate to correct a colleague on national television, but you made a serious mistake a minute ago. You mentioned that I was losing hair. Robert, I lost this hair before you were born.
Fair enough. Very quickly, Heather, you told us earlier you're going from Grapevine to Dallas today. I've got 30 seconds left. Tell everybody what it is that's going on there today, because this is a big day.
It is the 10 FBS commissioners and Notre Dame athletic director Jack Swarbrick are going to continue today and tomorrow to talk about the 12-team plan. Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, says 4, 12, or bust, and it takes one person, one president, to not vote for it, and this thing is going to stay at 4. But I would be surprised if they have a plan, an agreement to present to presidents to vote on.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.